So, good morning, students. And today's our topic is colligative properties. Topic is colligative properties. So, colligative properties, these are the properties of ideal solution. These are the properties of ideal solution which depends over number of particles of solute, which depends number of particles of solute dissolved in definite amount of solvent, and this does not depend over the nature of solute. So, the properties which depends only over the number of solute which are dissolved in definite number of the solvent, definite number of moles of the solvent, and are independent or does not depend over the nature of the solute are called colligative properties. Some important examples of colligative properties are, so the examples of the colligative properties are, the first one is, it is relative lowering in vapor pressure. The first example of colligative property is relative lowering in vapor pressure. The another example is, it is elevation in boiling point. The next colligative property is, it is depression in freezing point. Another colligative property is, it is osmotic pressure. So, what are the colligative properties? So, properties which depends over only the number of the particles of the solute. It may be molecules, it may be ions in solution. The amount dissolved, number of particles of the solute dissolved in definite molecule amount of the solvent. Okay? And does not depend over the nature of solute are colligative properties. तो properties जो कि solute के particles के नंबर पे डिपेंड करती हैं जो कि सॉल्यूशन में है, ठीक है, अब वो solute के नेचर पे डिपेंड नहीं करती हैं, are called colligative properties. The important examples of the colligative properties are relative lowering in vapor pressure, elevation in boiling point, depression in freezing point, and osmotic pressure. Now, the why? Now the question arises, why we are discussing these colligative properties? See, what's the use of these colligative properties? So, remember, these colligative properties are used to determine the molecular mass of solute. So, colligative properties are used to determine the molecular mass of the solute. Is it clear? So, what are colligative properties? Properties which depends only over the number of the solute particle. They does not depend over the nature of the solute. Okay? And the most important application of the colligative property is they are used in to determine the molecular mass of the solute. Now we'll discuss the one of the colligative property, and it is relative lowering in vapor pressure. This particular term, relative lowering in vapor pressure, is already discussed in our previous topic, Raoult's law. राउल्ट लॉ वाले वीडियो में ये पहले भी डिस्कस किया जा चुका है इन डिटेल. फिर भी इन शॉर्ट तो विल डिस्कस व्हाट इज रिलेटिव लोअरिंग इन वेपर प्रेशर. तो रिलेटिव लोअरिंग इन वेपर प्रेशर, it is a ratio. This is ratio of whose? Ratio of lowering in vapor pressure over vapor pressure of pure solvent. So, relative lowering is basically the ratio of lowering in vapor pressure of solution and vapor pressure of pure solvent. Is it clear? See, as you know, the solution which is having, in which there is a solute is non-volatile, तो उस केस में the vapor pressure of solution remains lesser than the vapor pressure of pure solvent. Now, this relative lowering in vapor pressure is expressed as this expression. Here, this P naught is the vapor pressure of pure solvent, while this P denotes vapor pressure of solution, and the difference of these two denotes lowering in vapor pressure. So, ratio of lowering in vapor pressure and vapor pressure of pure solvent. This ratio is called relative lowering in vapor pressure. So, according to the Raoult's law, for solution containing non-volatile solute, that at given temperature, the relative lowering in vapor pressure remains equal to the mole fraction of solute. Is it clear? It means this can be expressed as P naught minus P over P naught equals to N over N plus N. See here, small n is denotes the number of moles of solute, while capital N denotes the number of moles of solvent. Is it clear? See, to denote the number of moles, N alphabet is used, as solute is the minor component, small alphabet we are using here. Solvent is the major component, we are using the capital alphabet. Okay? So, in this expression, see, the relative lowering in number of moles depends over the number of moles of solute dissolved in definite number of moles of the solvent, and that's why it is a colligative property. Is it clear? देखो, relative lowering of vapor pressure जो है ये डिपेंड करता है नंबर ऑफ मोल्स ऑफ सोल्यूट पे, और जो कि डिसॉल्व्ड है फिक्स नंबर ऑफ मोल्स ऑफ द सॉल्वेंट पे, यानी ये नंबर ऑफ मोल्स पे डिपेंड करता है, और जो प्रॉपर्टी नंबर ऑफ मोल्स, नंबर ऑफ पार्टिकल्स ऑफ सोल्यूट पे डिपेंड करती है, दैट वन इज कॉलिगेटिव प्रॉपर्टी. इस कारण रिलेटिव लोअरिंग इन वेपर प्रेशर इज अ कॉलिगेटिव प्रॉपर्टी. नाउ you know, for dilute solution, अगर solution बहुत dilute है तो आप जानते हैं for dilute solution, in dilute solution जो number of moles of solutes हैं are very very less than the number of moles of the solvent. solvent के number of moles के comparison में solute के number of moles बहुत कम होते हैं. तो in comparison to the number of moles of the solvent, the number of moles of the solute may be neglected. So this expression can also be written as P naught minus P over P naught is equal to number of moles of solute over number of moles of the solvent. Is it clear? Is it clear? See, so this expression, these expressions confirms that the relative lowering in vapor pressure depends over the number of moles of the solute dissolved in definite number of moles of the solvent, and are independent to the nature of the solute, and that's why it is a colligative property. So this expression confirms that relative lowering in vapor pressure is a colligative property. Now, as you know, the main application of the colligative property is to determine the molecular mass of the solute. So using this expression, we can determine the molecular mass of the solute. See, here it is P naught minus P over P naught, means relative lowering in vapor pressure is equal to N over N. This is the case for dilute solution. Okay, because here we are neglecting the number of moles of solute in comparison to the total number of moles of the solvent. Okay. Now you know, because number of moles. So how the number of moles are calculated? The number of moles is equal to mass over molecular mass. Here small n, it denotes the number of moles of the solute. It means this can be calculated as mass of solute over molecular mass of solute, because solute is the minor component, so the mass of solute can be represented by small w, while molecular mass of the solute can be represented by small m. Similarly, n, capital N, this denotes the number of moles of the solvent. So this can be expressed as mass of what? Solvent over molecular mass of solvent. And because solvent is major component, so here we'll use the capital W to denote the mass of solvent and capital M to denote the molecular mass of the, capital W to denote the mass of solvent and capital M to denote the molecular mass of the solvent. After that, it means this expression can be written as P naught minus P over P naught equals to small w over small m upon capital W over capital M. Is it clear? See, it means it is P naught minus P over P naught equals to W over M. This small w denotes the mass of the solute, small m denotes the molecular mass of the solute, into m over w. This capital M denotes the molecular mass of the solvent and this capital W denotes the molecular mass of the solvent. So using this expression we can determine the molecular mass of solute. Is it clear? So molecular mass can be determined using colligative property also. But remember that this molecular mass is not frequently used, or you can say is not preferred to determine the molecular mass of the solute. Why? The reason is that there are some other methods like elevation in boiling point, depression in freezing point, and osmotic pressure. These are number of other methods we know, and which gives the, or by which we can calculate the molecular mass of solute more easily and more accurately. That's why this method, means relative lowering in vapor pressure method, is not frequently in use to determine the molecular masses of the solute. Is it clear? Now, after this, we'll solve some numerical based over it. So the numerical is calculate the vapor pressure at 295 Kelvin. See here, we'll make a table. What is given to us? Temperature is given. It is 295 Kelvin. So the vapor pressure at 295 Kelvin of a 0.1 m solution of urea means concentration of urea solution is given 0.1 m is given. The density of the solution may be taken as 1 gram per cubic centimeter. See here, the density of solution is given 1 gram per cubic centimeter, or you can write 1 gram per ml. Okay. The vapor pressure of pure water at 295 Kelvin is 20 mm. Means this vapor pressure of pure solvent, because solvent is water and pure solvent का vapor pressure given है, it is 20 mm. ठीक है? And we have to calculate the vapor pressure of the solution. Means P is to calculate. Is it clear? It means here, as you know, according to the Raoult's law, for the solution which contains non-volatile solute, so the formula is P naught minus P, means lowering in vapor pressure or vapor pressure of pure solvent का जो ratio होता है, means relative lowering in vapor pressure is equal to the mole fraction of solute. This is the formula. So here the solute is urea and the solvent is water. So it means this expression can be written as P naught minus P over P naught equals to, so as you know, mole fraction of any component is the ratio of number of moles of that component to the total number of moles of the solution. Means here the mole fraction of the solute, means mole fraction of the urea, is the ratio of number of moles of urea to the total number of moles of the solution. Means number of mole of urea plus number of moles of the water. Is it clear? So as here the concentration is given to us, it is 0.1 m. Okay? What it means? It means 0.1 mole of urea is dissolved in 1 liter of solution. Is it clear? Is it clear? Means here the number of moles of urea, it is 0.1, and volume of solution, it is how much? 1 liter, means it is 1000 ml. And you know the density of solution is also given. It is 1 gram per ml. So using these two data, you know density equals to mass over volume. So you can determine the mass of solution or mass of solution will be equal to the sorry not solution mass yes mass of solution, so it will become equal to the density into volume of solution. Density equals to 1 into volume is equal to 1000 ml. So it comes how much? 1000 gram. So now mass of solution is known to you. Okay? Now we have to determine the number of moles of solute, means urea is known to us. Number of moles of solvent is to determine. So it means number of moles of solvent, so can be calculated as, it is mass of solvent over molecular mass of solvent. Here the mass of solvent, mass of solution we know it is 1000 gram, and in that 0.1 mole of the urea is dissolved. So it means here mass of solvent can be calculated as mass of solution minus mass of urea. So mass of solution is how much? 1000 minus mass of urea we have to determine. So what mass of urea is dissolved here? See here. You knows the mass is number of moles is equal to mass over molecular mass. Okay? So number of moles is equal to of urea is 0.1. So mass, let it is W. Molecular mass of urea is 60. We can determine it. The molecular formula of urea is NH2CO NH2. So the sum of atomic masses of all these comes how much? 60. So it means here the W comes how much? 6 gram. This W denotes the mass of solute, means mass of urea. So we'll subtract the 6 from 1000, it comes 994. Is it clear? Okay? Now to calculate the number of moles of the solvent, mass of solvent comes how much? 994. So 994 over molecular mass of the solvent, it is water. So for water the molecular mass is 18. So it comes how much? It comes approximately 55.22. These are the number of moles of the solvent. Is it clear? And now after that substitute the values here in this formula. The number of moles, here P naught is how much? P naught was given, it was 20 minus P is to calculate over P naught, it comes 20 equals to N, number of moles of urea, it is given 0.1 over number of moles of urea, it is 0.1 plus number of moles of the water, it comes 55.22. It comes 20 minus P over 20 equals to 0.1 over 0.1 plus 55.32. Clear? Okay? And then it means it comes 20 minus P over 20 equals to 0.1 over 55.32. Now solve this expression, so you will get that it is 20 multiplied by 55.32 minus 55.32p equals to 20 multiplied by 0.1. So when you will multiply this one, it comes 1106.4 minus 55.32 equals to 2, and thereafter you can write that it is it's not P, it comes 55.32p equals to 1104.4. It means P is equal to 104.4 divided by 55.32. It means P comes approximately equals to 19.96 mm. So this one will be your answer. So in this way you can determine the molecular masses of the solute. The next question is, vapor pressure of an aqueous solution of glucose is 750 mmHg at 373 Kelvin. Calculate the molality and mole fraction of the solution. Okay. Now again we will make a table. What is given to us? Firstly, temperature is given, which is constant, and it is 373 Kelvin. Now vapor pressure of an aqueous solution means vapor pressure of solution is given to us. It is 750 mm of Hg. Now calculate the molality and mole fraction. Okay. Now mole fraction of solute, or you can say here it is of glucose, is to calculate, as well as the molality of solution. Molality of solution is to calculate. What is molality? Means number of moles of glucose per kg of solvent is to calculate. These two things are we have to calculate. We know here this temperature is the boiling point of the water, because the solution is aqueous, and because we know the vapor pressure of pure solvent means water is 760 mmHg at 1 atm pressure, or you can say 1.013 bar pressure and 373 temperature. The vapor pressure of pure water is this one. Okay. Now you know that the P naught minus P over P naught is equal to X solute. Okay, means here In this case, the solute is glucose. It is mole fraction of glucose. Now substitute the value. So here P naught is how much? 760 minus P is how much? 750 over 760 is equal to mole fraction of glucose. It means in this way you can calculate the mole fraction of glucose. It comes 10 over 760. It means it is coming how much? It is 0.0132. So this one, in this way, you have calculated the mole fraction. Is it clear? Okay? And you know the sum of the mole fractions of all the components of solution is 1. So in this way you can also calculate the mole fraction of water by subtracting the mole fraction of glucose from 1. It comes 1 minus 0.0132. So in this way you can calculate the mole fraction of both the components. Now another part of the question is we have to find out the molality. So as you know, what is molality? Molality means number of moles of solute per kg of the solvent. So here we know X solute. Okay? It comes how much? 0.0132. And you know X solute means X glucose can be calculated as it is the mole fraction of any component of the solution is the ratio of number of moles of that component, means number of moles of glucose to the total number of moles of the solution, means number of moles of glucose plus number of moles of the water. Is it clear? See here, because remember dilute solution, always the number of moles of solute lies very less than number of moles of the solvent. So in this case, the number of moles of the glucose are neglected in comparison to the number of moles of the solvent, means water, and therefore mole fraction of glucose can be expressed as number of moles of glucose over number of moles of the water. Okay? As the definition states that what is molality? The number of moles of glucose dissolved in 1 kg of solvent, means since here the mass of solvent H2O is how much? 1 kg. It means it is considered 1000 gram, and you know molecular mass of water, it comes how much? 18. So therefore number of moles of water is equal to mass over molecular mass. It means 1000 over 18. So it comes how much? 55, yes, it comes 55.55. These are the number of moles of the water. So in this way, now the molality is already determined. Mole fraction is already determined. It comes how much? 0.0132 over equals to N, number of moles of glucose which are dissolved in 1 kg of the solvent, and in 1 kg of solvent the number of moles of solvent are how much? 55.55. So in this way, number of moles of glucose which are dissolved in 1 kg of solvent may be calculated, and it comes how much? It comes 0.73, this one. So these are the number of moles of the solute dissolved in 55.55 moles of the solvent, means 1 kg of solvent. So therefore the molality of solution equals to 0.73 this much mole per kg. Is it clear?